YouTube, what up? We are back with more picks. We already had one pick earlier for Thursday Night Football, but it is week 12 of the NFL regular season. We got 3 picks in this video for you. I usually do all my pick videos separately, but in this video, we're doing them all together because, and if some of you guys don't like it, you're just going to have to deal with it because this channel is to help. It's all about being profitable and actually making money and not just forcing, what maybe the people want to see. So in this video, I'm going to be giving out 3 teasers that I like this week. But first, our Thursday Night Football game was a winner. We had the Browns plus 3.5. I said my line for that game was more like Browns -2. Browns ended up winning that game outright by 5. It went exactly as I thought it would. Very ugly game. The conditions were nasty. And it was just a close, short week, rushed week for the Steelers. They definitely looked like they weren't prepared to start off that game. Tons of penalties, horrible attempts on 4th down, and that's why we like the Browns. It was a short week in Cleveland. Tomlin's bad on the road on Thursday Night Football. There was just a lot of things. Wasn't sold on Pittsburgh's offense. Long story short, it was a great way to start the week for us. That puts us at 1-0 for the week. And the past couple weeks, we've been 5-0. So we combine them both. We're 6-0 past few weeks. And let's try to keep this win streak alive with our teasers going into the weekend for week 12. So 3 different teams I like on the teasers, guys. And I'll just tell you straight up now, every play I've put on this channel has been 1 unit. Since we're doing teasers and we're rotating the teams, trying to get our exposure right, each teaser is going to be 0.5 units for this week because there's 3 of them, and we don't want more than 1 unit of exposure per team, and each team that I like appears on 2 of the 3 teasers. If that sounded confusing, maybe after I go through it all, it'll make sense, but let's get into these games. So the 3 teaser legs that I like are Bears plus 9.5. I also like the Texans -2, and then our third one I like is the Chargers on Monday Night Football plus 9. So we're going to combine each of them with each other, and we'll have 2. Each team will be left out of 1 of the 3. They'll each be in 2 of the 3, if that makes sense. So the first game is Bears-Vikings. Why do I like the Bears in this one? Bears, we're teasing them up from 3.5 to 9.5. I can't remember if I said it, but these are 2-team 6-point teasers. And we're getting this at -125 odds, okay? So basically for every 100 you bet, you get back $80 in profit. Granted, it wins. So the Bears. So you guys, the Bears are a team that I early in the season faded a lot. And I haven't touched them in a long time. You know how I feel about rookie quarterbacks, and I feel like they have to earn their right in this league. They usually just really suck to start off the year. And I think Caleb kind of sucked to start off the year. And then he kind of looked good for a little bit, and I stayed away. They looked good. I didn't want to get involved with them. And then he kind of fizzled out again, and then he finally had a week where he looked good. I'm not betting this game because I love Caleb Williams. That's not why I'm betting this game. He's been good enough for me to feel like this is a safe bet. That's how I feel about it. But really, I'm betting this game based on 2 things. It's situation. It's Bears at home in division. We love that. We just want this game to be a war. I could care less if the Bears win or lose this game. I think it's a toss-up who wins this game. If you're going to make me forced to pick, I guess I'll say probably the Vikings, okay? But it's literally like flipping a coin. I think either team can win this game, and that's what I like in a teaser where I'm getting key numbers past 7. So in this one, we're getting 9.5. But both defenses in this one are really good. That kind of washes out. Sam Darnold, he's a big reason why I'm betting this game. I am just starting to see Sam Darnold come back to who Sam Darnold is. I'm not saying he's bad, but to start off this year, man, he was a scary one to bet against. Sam Darnold looked like a reborn quarterback in this system. They're lighting up. I think they stayed aside from the Chiefs, I guess. They stayed undefeated the longest, I think, aside from the Chiefs. And they were tearing it up. But a lot of that has to do with the turnovers that the defense was creating, which is very scary defense that Flores has. But like I said earlier, the Bears have a really good defense, too, that gets a lot of turnovers. They'll wash each other out to a degree. But Sam Darnold, man, he's just not that elite guy that I think he was being perceived as the first few weeks of this year. After they started to get their first loss against the Rams on Thursday Night Football, I feel like he's been more of a average, mediocre quarterback. I'm not saying he's been bad, but I haven't seen anything too scary out of him. I think he's more. We just got to put him more back to life here, just somewhere middle of the pack quarterback as of right now. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think he's better than Caleb Williams, but I think the fact that this game is in Chicago, that kind of balances out for that discrepancy, and it just makes this game just a toss-up game. That's how I look at it. Yes, of course, I could take the 3 or 3.5 that the Bears are getting, but I'd rather tease this up and play it safe, get 9.5 points. That way, if the game's tied 17-17 and the Vikings get a touchdown at the end of the game, even though it was a close game, the score would be 7 and we would still cover our teaser. So that's why I'm going to take a teaser on this one. Give me the Bears plus 9.5, and we're hoping for a close game. Next game, we got the Texans -2. They're hosting the Tennessee Titans. Look, guys, Titans have been horrible. Titans have been really, really bad on defense. Will Levis, one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, has an argument for the worst, but I think there's maybe a couple worse than him. Maybe Cooper Rush, maybe Bryce Young, but shoot, he's right down there, I should say. He's really bad. This guy loves turning over the ball making. He's like Carson Wentz as far as like the ridiculousness of his turnovers, but like I feel like there's less good plays with him than there was with Carson Wentz. So I don't know. I think he's like a bad Carson Wentz. Here and there, he'll have a play that it was like, oh, wow, looks really good. And then fucking 10 plays in a row where he's brutal. So we like betting against him. The Texans, man, look, they've been a little inconsistent on offense this year. There's no denying that. But when you compare CJ Stroud against Will Levis, he's been a million times better this year than Will Levis has. Not even close. So we got that. It's at home. Yes, they're coming off Monday Night Football, but that is factored into my numbers here, and it's still, to me, is a safe play. And then you look at the defense. I think the Texans have been playing really, really good defense, man. The Titans have been horrible on defense. The Texans, though, you watched that Detroit game, man, I was like, the Texans are scary, like for anybody, and it's not even because of CJ Stroud. It's because of how good their defense is and how well they're coached and how hard they play. It's like that defense is actually scary. That D-line was getting tons of pressure on Goff. So with a Will Levis that loves to turn over the ball and this nasty defensive line for the Texans, I expect them to be able to have a good chance of creating some turnovers and let Will Levis do what Will Levis does best and turn over the ball. So hopefully the Texans can win by a touchdown or more on that one. But regardless, we have them at -2 to play it safe. Then our last pick is the Chargers. We have the Chargers +9. This is the Harbaugh Bowl. This should be an awesome game. And this might be the first time I'm doing this year. But usually when you guys hear me talk, I'm usually talking about, man, I like this bet because this quarterback is so much better, or I really like this quarterback, yada, 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 or the situation. What I really like about this is the defensive discrepancy. I probably haven't said it all year on an actual bet I like, but the Ravens have been one of the worst defenses this year. They had a good defensive performance last week, but it was against the Steelers, who they're so hit or miss on offense forever. And then on the Chargers side, it's kind of flipped. They didn't have the best defensive performance last week, but you look at them as a whole this season, there's a real case for them to be the best, be crowned the best defensive team this year. It's what Harbaugh does, man. I can't remember the stat, but I think they were showing on Sunday Night Football. Like there was, one team that had the lowest, I think, opponent points allowed per game or something. And then this year it was the same thing, and they were both led by Harbaugh. I might be messing up what the stat was, but my point is it was a really rare, really good defensive stat, and Harbaugh was attached to both of them. And he knows how to put those good defenses together, man. I mean, look how good it's a different game, man. I get it, but Michigan, and look at them now. But my point is I really like Harbaugh as a coach. I trust his process. I trust his hires. I think he really just is a great coach. And they have a lot of talent on that D-line, man. Look, who knows who's going to be playing when it's game time, but Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, the new kid, I can't remember his name. I think he's a Pauly, but he's been killing it. You guys don't know who I'm talking about. Is it 44? I don't want to waste time on this video thinking of it, but he's I think he's just a Pauly that has been killing it for the D-line. And they got, Derwin James. They have a really good personnel on defense, and not only that, they're really well coached, it seems like. Yes, I know they haven't played the greatest schedule, but they've taken care of business nonetheless against who's been put in front of them. And this feels like a totally different Charger team than in the past. And they're like I said last week, because I had the Bengals in a teaser against them that won. The Chargers are like a typically they're like a slow-paced, grind-you-out team, kind of like the Steelers. Keep the game close, and you win off of just good decisions, high IQ, not making mistakes, and really good defense. And I think that's what we kind of just want in this game. Whatever happens, I think this game could go either way. It should be a really close game, but I just have faith in the Chargers defense to make Lamar not be able to blow them out by 70 points and just make it an ugly game. I don't know who's going to win this game. The line I make for this game is like Chargers -1. I think it's a really close game. So I feel like in a game like that I expect to be a one-possession game, I will take the Chargers in LA. Really good defense. Just keep this one close. That's all we could hope for. Getting +9 on that. I'm sure I've already said that a few times. But to be super specific, since we're combining all the teams, our 3 teasers are, number 1, Bears +9.5 with the Chargers +9. Our second teaser is Bears +9.5 with the Texans -2. And then our third teaser is the Chargers +9 with the Texans -2. So those are our 3 combinations. If you want to see it all printed out nice, go to my Twitter. That's where I post everything first. YouTube, you guys are last to see it. So if you want my best lines, you need to go over to my Twitter/X page at Nick Harris Football. And that's where you're going to see all my info out first. But if you like these long-form videos, I appreciate you watching. Guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe. It's so hard to grow on this platform. I really appreciate it. And just to reiterate, guys, each teaser this week, and it's not 1 unit, it's 0.5 units. So half as much per usual. We only want 1 unit of exposure per team. So in order to do that, we had to make each teaser this week 0.5 units. Between all 3 teasers, we're risking 1.5 units, if that makes sense, okay? So if that didn't make sense, rewatch the video or go to my Twitter. You see it all laid out nice and neat. And it should be clear on what we're on this week. And as always, guys, you never have to bet my plays. This is not financial advice. We've done really well so far this year. After that Thursday Night Football win, we're up. Our record on the year right now is 22 wins, 15 losses, and we're up like 59. Or I'm sorry, we're up. Our win percentage is 59 point something. It's very high. Like I've said before on this channel, break-even rate is 52.4%. Professional level, they consider 55% and up. Right now, we're at 59 point something. So we are crushing it this year. We're up like, I forget the number off the top of my head, but I think it's like 5.6 or 7 units. It might be, I think 5.7 units. I could be a little off, but I think it's 5.7. I posted this on Twitter already. I'm just trying to remember off of memory. But yeah, we're up about 5.7 units going into this weekend. So it's been an awesome year so far, guys. Congrats to anybody that's tailed. If you faded me, probably a rough year for you. So let's try to keep this win streak going, guys. I appreciate all of you that have stuck this far. Again, like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next week with more picks. Let's get lucky this weekend, boys. Peace.